I've been known to sit on my porch all day long. Porch honky in my swing, and I ain't worried about a thing. Porch honky, all I need's a big old glass of cold sweet tea. Porch honky, doing fine, living life one day at a time. 1, 2, 3. One day at a time.
Porch honky, sitting on my porch swing, waiting on that sunset to hear the coyotes sing. But in the meantime, it's the same routine. Sweet tea in my beat up jeans. Charlie Minus on the 6-string, picking a tune. Tracy Stone's doing his thing, skinning a coon. Dogs on the porch laid out by my feet, and everybody's head starts bobbing to the beat. Cars drive by looking at us kind of funny. Just some old porch honkies ain't got no money. Crops in the backyard, chickens in the front, slingshot shooting beer cans off that stump. And the black smoke coming from the smoker, dinner time's close. Yesterday's hide hanging right on the post. Kick back, rocking chair, yeah, we keep it funky. And that's the definition of an old porch honky.
Porch honky, I've been known to sit on my porch all day long. Porch honky in my swing, and I ain't worried about a thing. Porch honky, all I need's a big old glass of cold sweet tea. Porch honky, doing fine, living life one day at a time. 1, 2, 3. One day at a time.
Hanging out, I ain't gotta do a damn thing but sit right here all day on my porch swing. Drink a few, take a chew, kick it with my homies. Might get drunk and start acting like a donkey. Moccasin Creek, feet bare like my pockets. Connor's on the porch and he's shooting bottle rockets. CB3's humming us a brand new song. He said, yeah, it won't be long until we wake up in the morning and we do it again. Yeah, we're front porch cooling, roof covered in tin. The sun is beating down on my cowboy hat. My voice is getting hoarse, my beer is never flat. I'm looking for my rifle, I found my 45. I raised it in the air, shot it high in the sky. Nobody asked why, they just looked and grinned. Yeah, them old porch honkies, man, they're at it again.
Porch honky, I've been known to sit on my porch all day long. Porch honky in my swing, and I ain't worried about a thing. Porch honky, all I need's a big old glass of cold sweet tea. Porch honky, doing fine, living life one day at a time. One day at a time. Porch honky, doing fine, living life one day at a time. One day at a time.
One day at a time. Hey sis, how you doing?
I'm doing. How you doing?
You look good. I'm doing, and I don't think we need to go any further than that. I'm doing. Everybody knows that I've been going through some shit, so it is what it is. Let's just roll past it.
Okay, so a lot of people
I'll
see
let you explain it.
We're doing 2 channels today. For those that don't know, last week we got, well, from last Friday's, we got another strike. So because we got another strike, we have to network on our backup channels, which doesn't have nearly as many subscribers as our main channel. So right now, we started the live on both backup channels, and we're not going to end that way. But we have to publicize both channels because I have one strike on my channel, and he don't have a strike yet. So
Go figure that one, right?
so we have 2 on the main channel when we're in a 2-week suspension. We have 1 strike on my channel. So for tonight, we're actually going to do the entire live on Porch Honky Taylor 11 channel. But we went live on both channels because we
I've
have
got some people that you do not have.
and I got
and
people
you've
that
got
you
people
don't
that I
have.
don't have.
So basically what we're trying to do is network with both of our backup channels to coordinate these subscribers to know that there's 2 backup channels just in case. So we don't have any, we're actually not going to even bring up the big bad ugly virus anymore because that's what's given us these strikes. So if there's anybody that's on the Hillbilly Patriot channel, in the description, I have the link to Porch Honky's Taylor 11. It's the very first thing in the description box. And in Taylor 11, I have Hillbilly Patriots channel, which is the very first thing in the description box. So after we go run through, do the introductions and say hello to everyone, we're going to shut down the Hillbilly Patriot channel tonight and finish the live on the Porch Honky's Taylor 11. And there's a setup for tomorrow where we're going to follow up with what we got tonight with another live, basically in the mindset of preparing for the worst. And I'm sure some of y'all know where we're going with that. And that one is going to be on the Hillbilly Patriot channel. So we're going to, tomorrow night, we're going to do the same thing, but it's going to be flipped. So we're going to do the Porch Honky song, introductions, hey, everybody. And then we're going to shut down the Taylor 11 channel. And that way we can make sure that with the subscribers that we've gained on our backup channels, that they are coordinated on both. Because we ran into a situation. AC said he got his first strike because of CV. Yeah.
Well,
that CV is an ugly topic because
it is an absolute ugly topic. Okay, we got Nikki B that just popped in, so we're going to have to explain it to her as well. Okay,
Nikki, I don't know which channel you're on, but basically what I just ran through is I'm gonna say it one more time. Well, then we'll go and we'll say hello to everybody. And we'll get started. Okay, so right now
I needed that laugh. This is freaking hilarious. Sorry.
It's confusing, and I hope it's not too confusing for everybody, but we're going to get it worked out. So right now, we're currently on both backup channels. Reason being is because we got a strike on Porch Honkies. So last week, we played a video that didn't go with the narrative of the big bad virus. So with that being said, we're in a 2-week suspension. Because we're in a 2-week suspension, we have to network our backup channels, which has less than 1/3 of our actual subscribers.
And also, let's remind everybody, if we get another strike within 90 days.
Yes. So we're actually going to be doing a lot more. We're going to be doing a lot more videos on our backup channels than normal.
Yes.
Because we can't risk losing the Porch Honkies channel. Because if we lose the Porch Honkies channel, we're basically having to start from ground zero.
And Mickey just showed up after we're explaining her.
Mickey, you might need to rewind a little bit.
Oh my goodness, please. Oh my goodness. I love you guys. I really do. But this would be what? 3rd, 4th time explaining it.
Should we play the theme song again? I love it.
Oh, my
Okay.
Okay.
Here being said,
Oh,
'Cause
somebody else just joined. Who was it? Is it Boat? No, it ain't Boats and Garden
Brooke
Tools.
just showed up too.
Oh.
Okay, so when
Hey, let's do it simple.
even though the Hillbilly channel is about to end its live,
Yes.
they will see the recording and we'll be able to jump over. Okay,
there we
last
go.
time being said. Vote says, I think you have YouTube confused as well.
I am not drunk. I'm telling you guys. Oh, we got 2 more people that just popped in. Who else is? Okay. Last time, guys. Last time we're going to.
Okay. So, Porch Honky's main channel, last week we got a strike for playing a video. Because that was our second strike, we can't get another strike within 90 days or else they will remove the Porch Honky's channel. So right now what we're doing is we're networking our backup channels because we're going to be doing more videos on the backup channel. So right now we started the stream on both Hillbilly Patriot and Porch Honky's Taylor 11.
To connect everybody.
Yes, he has subscribers that I may not have, and I have subscribers that he may not have, and we're trying to get those subscribers to know that there's 2 channels. So yes, AC, everybody at this moment right now, go over to Taylor 11, Porch Honky's Taylor 11.
There you go.
The link is in the very first thing in the description box of Hillbilly Patriot is Porch Honky's Taylor 11. Also, if you have not subscribed to Hillbilly Patriot, the link is in the description of Porch Honky's Taylor 11. First thing in there. So at this moment, we're like everybody's saying hello to each other. We're gonna give y'all play the Porch Honky song one more time.
I'm gonna play the Porch Honky
song. In the meantime, of the Porch Honky.
Christina just joined in. Christina, please go back and rewatch this so that you know what we're doing.
In the meantime of us playing the Porch Honky theme song, we will be shutting down Hillbilly Patriot's live stream at the end of the song. During this time, if you haven't subscribed to Hillbilly Patriot, the link is in the description of Porch Honky's Taylor 11. First thing there. If you haven't subscribed to Porch Honky's Taylor 11, the link is in the description of Hillbilly Patriot. So during the song, this is your time to jump off. Go make sure you're connected to both backup channels so we don't lose anybody. And at the end of this song, we will... Hey. Okay, never mind. Okay, at the end of the song, we will be ending the live stream to Hillbilly Patriot. And then we'll be finishing off and concluding with our normal thing on Porch Honky's Taylor 11. And then tomorrow night, we actually have another live that is going to be about preparing for the worst. And I'm sure some of y'all know where we're going to go with that. But with that being said, we're actually going to do the opposite. So tomorrow night, we're going to start off with both backup channels, and then we're actually going to live stream off of Hillbilly Patriot. And after the introductions, we will shut down Porch Honky's Taylor 11. And that's just something that I came up with. Blame me if it's confusing, but that's just something I come up with in order to make sure that we get those subscribes linked up, because I know that he's got subscribers that I don't have, and I have subscribers that he don't have.
All right, here we go.
Go with it.
sit on my porch all day long. Porch honky in my swing, and I ain't worried about a thing. Porch honky, all I need's a big old glass of cold sweet tea. Porch honky, doing fine, living life one day at a time.
1, 2, 3.
One day at a time.
Porch honky, sitting on my porch swing, waiting on that sunset to hear the coyotes sing. But in the meantime, it's the same routine. Sweet tea in my beat up jeans. Charlie Bonus on the 6-string, picking a tune. Tracy Stone's doing his thing, skinning a coon. Dogs on the porch laid out by my feet, and everybody's head starts bobbing to the beat. Cars drive by looking at us kind of funny. Just some old porch honkies ain't got no money. Crops in the backyard, chickens in the front, slingshot shooting beer cans off that stump. And the black smoke coming from the smoker, dinner time's close. Yesterday's hide hanging right on the post. Kick back, rocking chair, yeah, we keep it funky. And that's the definition of an old porch honky.
Porch honky, I've been known to sit on my porch all day long. Porch honky in my swing, and I ain't worried about a thing. Porch honky, all I need's a big old glass of cold sweet tea. Porch honky, doing fine, living life one day at a time.
1, 2, 3.
One day at a time.
Hanging out, I ain't gotta do a damn thing, but sit right here all day on my porch swing. Drink a few, take a chew, kick it with my homies. Might get drunk and start acting like a donkey. Moccasin Creek, feet bare like my pockets. Connor's on the porch and he's shooting bottle rockets. CB3's humming us a brand new song. He said, yeah, it won't be long until we wake up in the morning and we do it again. Yeah, we're front porch cooking, roof covered in tin. The sun is beating down on my cowboy hat. My voice is getting hoarse, my beer is never flat. I'm looking for my rifle, I found my 45. I raised it in the air, shot it high in the sky. Nobody asked why, they just looked and grinned. Yeah, them old porch honkies, man, they're at it again.
Porch honky, I've been known to sit on my porch all day long. Porch honky in my swing, and I ain't worried about a thing. Porch honky, all I need's a big old glass of cold sweet tea. Porch honky, doing fine, living life one day at a time. One day at a time. Porch honky, doing fine, living life one day at a time. One day at a time.
Well, shit, it don't seem to have worked. All right. Yes, it did. I just didn't do it correctly. Hey, guys, how y'all doing? All right. I know everything's chaotic. Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm muted.
I know things are chaotic. This is the best way that we could figure it out to make sure that we all were on the same page.
So right now we're only broadcasting from Porch Honky's Taylor 11.
Yes.
You want to do the shout outs in the chat, and then we can
Absolutely.
do a prayer list.
Absolutely. So let's get to the shout outs, although it's going to show. Well, yeah, there we go.
Well, they've already moved over.
Hey, Kat, how you doing, hun? I hope everything's going good with you with what all you've got going on. Who we got next? Brooke, good to see you. Joanne, always glad to have you. Survival. Sometimes you get under my skin, man. Just say it.
But you love him.
I know I do love him because he's balder than I am.
That's the only reason?
Well, there might be a little bit more, but it might sound gay. Just say I'm trying to have fun, guys. I really am. This week has kicked my ass. Good to see you here, Angry Conservative. I know that you've got to go because you got your own going. But thank you for coming by. Who's next? Nick. Of course, Nick's got to come by.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke would whoop her ass if she didn't. I'm just kidding, guys. I ain't trying to start no shit. Boats and garden tools. I love boats and garden tools. I'm actually taking some pointers from him on his grilling. So love me some boats and garden tools. All right. Who else? Mickey. Mickey, of course. Gotta love sis Nikki.
Nikki or Mickey?
Mickey. I said Mickey.
I was just beep.
Okay. All right. Who else we got here? Christina.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
You know something that I really admire? Christina. Christina is one of the first to say good morning.
Oh, I love it. And I love the fact that she's dedicated.
She's dedicated.
She will go from the group text. As soon as that send button goes, she's done hopped over to the Discord.
Yeah.
And then
into Facebook.
I was about to say 9 times out of 10, she's got the Facebook. Yeah. Good morning and good night. I tell you what, it's okay being single because I know I got Christina.
That's right. Christina is absolutely loyal. Gotta love Christina. And but wait a minute. See, that even sounds bad. It took me a minute to hear it. It's not saying anything against anybody else. I'm just saying
No, definitely not.
No.
Everybody has their own something.
Here goes Hillbilly sticking his foot in his mouth. That shoe leather don't taste good.
It don't?
No. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean it that way, but
no, definitely not.
I gotta give shout outs to Christina. All right.
Hush.
That ain't me.
I was talking to the dog.
Sister Z. I love you, sis. Let Carmen know and let Mama know we send her love.
Carmen's not feeling very well.
You told me that earlier.
Yeah.
We've got her in our prayers. We've got a pretty good prayer list, actually. Who else? Cyber Toxin, good to see you here. I'm looking. It takes a while with this. All right. I think that's everybody. So
Okay.
that's everybody. All right. I'm just gonna give y'all. I'm just gonna give y'all a heads up. I actually, me personally, I have not been able to do any research. All the research that has come into the chat is because of, oh, wrong side, the fabulous Taylor. And yes, my hands are dirty. I've been working on Bam Bam and had not had a chance to wash my ass. Laugh it up now, please. But with that being said, I'm going off the cuff and I'm just going to say what I feel at the point of what we're discussing.
Well, before we get started, I kind of have one that's really not like part of the news, but it's a something.
Okay. Well, before we get started, can I make a comment to this?
Yes.
Brooke.
Oh yeah, we got to say our prayer list too.
Well, yes, we do. Brooke, get Nick in touch with me, and I will work her through it.
I think she's joined it. She just don't know how to use it.
Well, I can do that too.
So as far as the prayer list goes, I know we have a mind of her own is going through some medical issues. We got Nick is on the downside of the V, the big bad V.
Yep.
I don't even want to say the word. But yeah,
right.
she said it's not been that bad, but yeah, it's kicking her in the butt. As far as, you know, it's yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And Warrior Z's sister Carmen is a little sicky right now. Is there
Mama's always got to stay in the prayer.
Who's Mama? Oh, Warrior Z's Mama? Yeah, definitely.
Always
Yeah.
got to stay in the prayer.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, the Martinez family. Let's just say the family.
Yes.
The Martinez family. So we got a mind of our own, Nick, and the Martinez family. If there's anybody out there that we haven't heard about yet,
let us know.
Let us know. So those are the people that we're gonna keep in mind and keep on the prayer list. So as far as that, I'm gonna go into this article, which it's not news or it's not something that really affects us. But I wanted to start out with this just because it's just something that I guess keep in mind. So this is, I don't even know how to say that. Quinnipiac.
Yeah, the Quinn. Just say the Quinn poll.
The Quinn poll. It says Biden's job approval is underwater and is a strong majority disapprove of his handling of foreign policy. It says that his approval rating is underwater with 42% approving of how he's handling his job compared to 50% who disapprove. Those numbers came from a survey September 10th through 13th. And then there was the numbers have also shifted strongly against Biden regarding his handling of foreign policy. Just 34% approve of the I don't even like saying president.
Yeah, I know, right?
Handling of foreign policy versus 59% who disapprove, a notable swing from 42% approval and 44% disapproval rating Biden on the issues in the earlier poll.
Hey, let's do it this way. Back it up.
Uh-huh.
The numbers have also shifted strong. Wait a minute. That ain't it. Oh, yeah. The numbers have also shifted strongly against Biden regarding his handling of foreign policy. Just 34% approve of the hair sniffers' handling of foreign policy versus 59% who disapprove. How about that?
I always disapprove of hair sniffing.
Or hey, just keep the P's together and just call him a pedo. It is what it is. Sorry. Pisser. Hey, boats and garden. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? I can do this. Boats. Exactly. Pisser. There you go. Don't call him president because he is not. He is not. He is not. Somebody is controlling him.
Let's not move. Let's not get there. Let's not go there. A strong majority, 65%, disapprove of the way the president. See, I'm reading and I can't help it. The way the man handled the withdrawal of American troops from Afghanistan, while only 31% approve of how he handled it. And a whooping 62% believe that U.S. troops will need to return to Afghanistan to combat terrorism, compared to just 28% who do not think so.
Oh, wait a minute. Before I do this, I want to say.
Look at Mickey's comment.
No, damn it! You wasn't supposed to be looking, but yeah, I'll do hers first. Absolutely. But you said the man, and that is by no means a man. For you to be a man, you got to have a set of balls. Otherwise,
what do you mean? They trying to call it the?
No, you called him the man. You called him the man.
I called him the man, as in the man, like the person who stands up when he pees. Like,
I doubt very seriously he stands up when he pees. he probably has somebody wipe that shit too. Oh my God! All right, we gotta get moving. I'm sorry.
Oh, I want to say this to Cybertosin. We've experienced that. He said, because he uploaded a video of him.
Let me highlight it.
He did a song, and it was a very good song. And I actually I was going to play it on the Porch Talk, but
absolutely. He
said that it had 11 likes last night and 6 this morning. We've been experiencing that, and I don't know what's going on with the YouTubes.
We're actually also experiencing subs disappearing that we
and
know
views, subs, views, and likes. Like I closed it down last week, and when I woke up the next morning, there was 10 less views than it was when I went to bed. Not that I'm like obsessing over the views, but I see it when I get on YouTube. So moving on from there, but yeah, remind me during Porch Talk, Cyber or I know Survival will. Remind me during Porch. Remind me during Porch Talk, and I'll play it.
We're both sub to them.
Yeah. Where was I? Oh, Biden is also underwater regarding the way he's handling his role as.
Oh, wait a minute. All right, wait a minute. You got a Pacific. Look.
Oh, I can't see because I'm not on the StreamYard right now.
Well, get on it because this
get
is straight
with me.
to you.
Okay, Joker. I will. Yeah. Is that on the like YouTube messing with us?
No, I think that's on the Discord, wasn't it?
Okay.
I think I might be wrong.
I'll get with him. I'll get with him either way.
There you go.
So he's underwater. Is his handling in the role of being the big guy? Big guy.
Yeah,
The
big guy. You gotta have a set. I'm sorry. You gotta have a set.
Okay, I got you, Joker. The big guy.
The big guy. Yeah.
Yeah, the big guy.
I'm pretty sure I'm a bigger guy than he is.
All right. We're not comparing the cachones or the cachones. Cojones, my bad.
Cojones, yes.
Chonies is underwear, I think.
Wait a minute. What is it? Who is that rapper? Who is that rapper that says hang low? Oh shit, that's too much information, ain't it? All right, let's go. Let's get on topic.
On topic.
You're supposed to flit me in my eyelid.
I can't reach it right now. Wow, 40% approve, 55% approve, 55% disapprove of him being the big guy over the military, and 42% approve of how the White House is handling the economy.
The economy? Oh, no, I'm not. Don't get me started on that right now.
Nope, not right now.
Because it's in the damn drink for real.
48% approve of his handling of the big bad virus response. He ain't done nothing. Oh, my bad. Okay, 49% disapprove. Those figures mark a notable shift compared to the poll conducted in late July, early August, which found 53% approved while 40% disapproved. According to the Quinnipiac University poll website, the survey was conducted over 1,210 U.S. adults nationwide, surveyed from September 10th to 13th, with a margin of error with plus minus 2.8% points. All right, so that was just something to get us started off with as where we are. I hear you typing.
I know. I'm doing this. Sorry, guys. What the hell was that shit? What the fuck? What was that? No, do that again. You gotta do that again.
I didn't realize I was doing it. Sorry. I'm drinking a Monster.
No, you gotta do that
I'm
again.
drinking a Monster.
Oh my goodness, she's hopped up, guys. Y'all ready for an all-nighter? Oh, I'm ready for it.
Oh, I got the donkey inside it.
Oh my goodness. Tell me Taylor can't freaking beatbox. That's old school shit. All right. So.
All right, get down. Get down.
Yes, thank you, Survival. And share. I missed that one, I guess.
Yes, please.
Like, subscribe, and like. I screwed it up. It's been that kind of week.
Like, subscribe, and like. I think
I did.
If you like twice, it takes it away.
It does take it away. Don't like. Anyway, thank you, Survival. But yeah, it's been that kind of week. Anyway, so let's move on. Let's move on to current events.
Current events. Wow. Let's go.
Let's talk about some shit.
I'm gonna play this and then you can make your little commentary rant portion after.
You know
Yeah.
I'm going to. You know I'm going to. All right, let's go.
Nick says I'm full of surprises.
Yes, that's odd. Sorry. Go ahead.
All right, this is from, what's it, You Are Here, the new show off of Blaze TV, called Woke Generals Hates America and Loves China.
Oh my God.
Been rising in power. This has been the long-standing institutionalized plan to take over the United States, in that this is from over 6 years ago, that people were intentionally being put into places of higher power and raising in rank that were loyal to China and disloyal to the United States government. Remember, this is not just like China took over our country yesterday.
Right.
This has been a long-standing, decades-long fight to get people who hate America, who hate our Constitution, who hate our foreign policy, who hate our domestic policy, and to give them the reins of the power structures of our country. And nobody was noticing. Back in 2015, this is before Trump, nobody was noticing that the communists were taking over. And I know we have this, and it might shock you, but apparently he thought China is actually our best friend.
Totally.
Let's watch this.
Yeah. Chuck it up.
You alluded to in the previous question. China is not an enemy. And I think that's important for people to clearly understand. China is a rising power. China has been a rising power since Deng Xiaoping in '79. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a significant increase in Chinese military capabilities over the last 10 to 20 years. And they are going to develop themselves and are developing themselves into a great power. That is not to say, however, that they're an enemy.
Yeah, he's this is definitely the person that you want at the helm.
Yeah, John.
I'm not exactly disagreeing with him. I'm trying to find a reason to, but I can't. I mean, I think that any argument for how China is our enemy could be correctly extended to a lot of our allies, whether that's stealing our technology or different things like that. Even with the trade, it's like China is able to take advantage of us and screw us over because of our leadership, people like that in particular who sell us out. And so, I look at countries like China, and they're socially conservative, and they're banning soy boys from television, and they're refusing to allow the biggest cultural exports from Western countries, which are, I think, as I cited in the second to last video I posted, feminism, anal sex, and gluttony to pollute their cultures. It's true. That's what we export. Made in America used to mean something. It doesn't anymore. It's just gross. And, I can't exactly be mad at China for looking out for their interests, just as I would expect them not to be mad at us for looking out for our interests. And so I think the problem is just that our leadership is selling us out and sort of running this managed decline scheme.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I totally agree with you on this, just simply because I get where you're coming from. But I think that the problem is if America intends to be a world superpower, it can't be selling it so to
I don't know.
China.
I don't know if I want us to be a world superpower, to be quite honest. Like, think
Why
about
not?
it. Because we suck. Like, if
You
there
currently
were,
suck because
yes.
people are selling you out.
right.
But America itself has always been basically that, when you have like a plant that's growing around that little, the little twisty vine growing around the
I'm
straight.
familiar.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what America's the little straight thing, and everyone else sort of grows around it. Without America, and I think on a geopolitical level, you need America to be strong and powerful.
But on a geopolitical level, we are literally not straight. I mean, we are flying our pride flag at embassies. Like,
yeah,
in
it's
these countries.
embarrassing.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, right now, if there were some global catastrophe, like, say, an actual virus or a space alien invasion, who would you rather have managing that? A country like China, which is a serious country, or a country like the United States of America in its present form? I'm not disagreeing that we should be a world superpower, but right now, the right in this country doesn't have any institutional power. And so if America as it exists now were to maintain its status as a superpower, it would be basically a bunch of overweight feminist teachers teaching little boys in the Middle East and China about being gay and gender theory and how to masturbate, like they're doing now in some classrooms in America. And that would be like what is enforced militantly upon the world if America had total reign.
I mean, for somebody with pirate-like facial hair. I expected you to be
True.
more of the mind of let's take our country back. Let's
I am
be as
completely,
good as we were.
I can't really buy into, seeing a United States general talk about China bad and then seeing everybody flip out. China's the enemy. And it's like, no, our elected officials are the enemy. I can't buy into it. And that's why it's so successful on the right too, is because we're looking to point the finger. We wanted to point the finger at Muslims. Now we want to point the finger at China. It's like, those are the bad guys. And they like that because it diverts our attention from really what the problem is, which is our own establishment and our own government. And so it's easy to point at them and say, they're the bad guy. The threat's from over there. It's like, I'm looking at who's taking my freedoms away, and it's not Xi Jinping. It's just not.
The call is coming from inside the house.
But I don't know, man. Like, in saying that, I agree. Yes, our leaders are weak. But then I look at this on the level of, like, let's just say that, for example, China invaded Taiwan, which they've been wanting to do since forever. They're
going to do it. They're
keep
doing
impinging
exercises now, preparing for it.
Yeah, exactly. So, but here's the problem, right? This is the problem with America not being a strong country and with letting China do whatever the hell it feels like. And this is just one example. If China moves in on Taiwan, which it will eventually do, I fully believe that it, like Elijah just said, they're setting themselves up where they can. And Taiwan at this point is autonomous, right? It's sovereign. When they move in, if America doesn't do something and back up Taiwan as an ally, because America should be allied to Taiwan, then it's basically going to drag a bunch of other countries into a massive conflict. It's not going to just stay as China versus Taiwan. It's going to be Australia needs to get involved now, and a bunch of other countries need to get involved.
Okay.
So I feel like we're on this level where America actually has to do something and stand up and basically be the power that we want them to be. Otherwise, a bunch of other countries are going to go, why should we rely on you? Why?
You want me to respond to that? No, you're muted. Yep, down there.
Go ahead.
You want me to respond to that, don't you?
Yeah. But don't get too deep into it because you know what I got coming up about.
I do, but all of it relates, every bit of it.
It does.
Taiwan is gone. Taiwan is gone.
And I do agree with what they said though, and this was something that the reason why I played it is because we like to point fingers. Oh, China's the bad guy. Russia's the bad guy. North Korea's the bad guy. But really, in this scenario, when we turn around and look at ourselves, why point the finger at China when we're letting it happen? We, in all reality, are giving them the platform to do what they're doing.
I want to respond to one thing. Only because this just came out today. Yes, survival. UK, Australia, and US.
I have something in my playlist in response to that.
Okay. All right. So stay tuned, survival. China or Taiwan is lost under this weak administration.
We've basically done to Taiwan what we did to Afghanistan. And I know we spent a lot of time over the past month on Afghanistan, but what we did to and in Afghanistan says a lot about our relations with Taiwan. And they see that, they recognize that, as well as our enemies.
Well, I know. I gotta keep it chill. I'm sorry.
You're good.
All right. So actually, within this section, there's not much I can say because it goes into some other stuff coming up. So
okay, I will follow that up with in relation to or continuation off of let's go with this. All right. This is going to be an article from the Daily Mail.
You want me to read it?
If you want to.
I
Hold on.
can. It's up to you.
Yeah, you can read it.
Mhm.
And there's actually good video clips in it. I mean, pictures in it as well.
All right.
I'm going to, do you think I should blow it up?
Yep. Blow it up.
All right.
All right.
Dailymail.com is where this came from. Shoot. China threatens to sell. I'm trying to read it before this big thing covers it up. China threatens to sell its navy into Hawaiian waters as U.S. and Australia announced defense pact days after flotilla of four Chinese vessels sail past Alaska. How do I get this thing to move? Like, why is it there?
Move the Porch Honky. Oh, well. Yeah, get rid of Porch Honkies up there. Oh, there it goes. It was going.
What in the world? Okay, can you see it from the bottom?
I can. I can. All right. So the ships that sailed off of the coast of Australia were a cruiser, destroyer, auxiliary, and intelligence vessels sailed close to U.S. waters. They sailed near Alaska's Aleutian Islands, but maintained international protocol. Tensions are escalating between China and U.S. amid South China Sea moves. A nuclear submarine pact was struck with UK, Australia, and U.S. to take on Beijing. So let me. Well,
yeah,
no,
look, it just
we're
moved
going to
away.
read it. We're
Okay.
going to read it. We're going to read it. China today threatened to send its navy into Hawaiian waters in the latest round of saber rattling in the Pacific after Australia and US and Britain announced a new naval alliance in the region. 4 Chinese vessels have already been spotted sailing off the coast of Alaska this week. Now, well, anyway, I'm going to read the sentence and then I'm going to respond. This week in a display of naval power amid increasing tensions as a global nuclear submarine pact was signed to take on Beijing. All right, let me explain. Now, this Taylor, can you scroll up and give us a date of when this was actually published? There it is.
Yesterday at 7:37 last night.
So let me clarify something for you guys. These Chinese vessels, these Chinese ships, were followed by the Coast Guard over a month ago. But it's just now coming out. All right. So next thing. A Chinese guided missile cruiser, guided missile destroyer, general intelligence vessel, and an auxiliary vessel were spotted off the coast of Alaska's Aleutian Islands during surveillance operation in the Bering Sea. The provocation came as China's state-run newspaper threatened to send warships to Hawaii and Guam in response to U.S. moves in the South China Sea.
There's a
Four Chinese warships sailed within 42 miles of the Aleutian Islands of Alaska this week. The Chinese flotilla sailed 42 miles off the coast of Aleutian Islands near the coast of Alaska. And if you guys don't understand international waters laws, they were right on the border.
Well, it's funny because China is, if you remember, China, if you fly, I mean, it doesn't even matter if you're on the water. If you're flying in not in your territory, a international country has all right to take you down because you can be considered, in quotes, a threat.
Yep.
So for China to do this and the U.S. to
do
nothing, yeah.
Hide it. They hid it. This happened a month ago. It absolutely happened a month ago. Anyway, all right, let's keep going. A guided missile cruiser, guided missile destroyer pictured, general intelligence vessel, and an auxiliary vessel were spotted off the coast of Alaska's Aleutian Islands. The Global Times editor-in-chief, don't have me try to pronounce that. I will destroy it.
Hu Jin.
All right, see? I'm telling you guys, she's the smartest one of us all. Hu Jin tweeted, hopefully when Chinese warships pass through the Caribbean Sea or show up near Hawaii and Guam one day, the U.S. will uphold the same standard of freedom of navigation. The day will come soon. The U.S. Navy responded to the tweet saying they have upheld the standards of freedom of navigation longer than the PLA Navy has existed. They also pointed out that Chinese spy ships have frequently sailed past Hawaii and Guam in recent years. They said the U.S. Navy sails around the world in accordance with international law. All countries benefit from freedom of navigation in accordance with international law. Unfortunately, not all who benefit from freedom of navigation would extend that same freedom to others. Wait a minute. Back it up. That picture is significant. What do we see here? We see a United States Navy. What do we see over there? And if you are able to blow that picture up, I would guarantee you that is not U.S. Navy. That is a Chinese, what they call a Chinese fishing boat. So anyway, all right, let's keep moving forward.
Here it explains what it is.
There you go. There you go. While the Chinese ships that sailed in the Bering Sea near Alaska were close to U.S. waters, they followed international laws, U.S. officials said. And we know how we feel about them motherfuckers. The 4 warships believed...
I was going to say about Nick, she's not feeling well, so she's going to head out and take care of herself.
Nick, you know our prayers are always with you. We love you.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's here. Just come watch it later if you want. But take care of yourself.
And Joker just left to go back to work, so I was just gonna give them a shout out on their exit.
Absolutely. Love both y'all. All right. Where did I stop? Okay, I see where I stopped. The 4 warships, believed to include the O-55 Nanchang destroyer, which they call it a destroyer, but it is an advanced destroyer. And when I mean advanced, I mean advanced. Were shadowed by the U.S. Coast Guard cutters Bertholf and Kimball, which actually Kimball has been in movies. So anyway, which are shown in a series of images released on Monday of the incident. The Bertholf crew made radio contact with the Chinese flotilla, which sailed 46 miles from the coast, and said all interactions were consistent with international standards. Guard Pacific Area Commander Vice Admiral Michael McAllister, man, that's a mouthful,
Michael McAllister
said in a statement, security in the Bering Sea and the Arctic is homeland security. Oh, well, go figure that one out. We've got the worst homeland security secretary ever. The United States Coast Guard is continuously present in this important region to uphold American interests and protect U.S. economic prosperity. The state-run Global Times cited Chinese analysts saying the move could be a countermeasure against U.S. military provocations on China's doorstep in the name of freedom of navigation. The U.S. Coast Guard cutters Bertholf and Kimball patrolled the seas as the China flotilla came within 46 miles of the coast.
This is the China State affiliated media tweet.
Okay.
You don't have to read that, but here it is. It's posted. Obviously, the Navy Chief of Information posted this, and then this was a retweet.
Wait a minute. I thought tweeting was bad. Why is our Navy Chief of Information tweeting with whoever the fuck this dude is?
Well, if you look at it, this was tweeted first, then this retweeted this, and then this retweeted all of this. So this was tweeted first. But if you look, it has Chinese thingy things on the
Yeah, they're talking specifically to them. Yep. I don't know. Maybe call me Pinoid, but that just don't sit right with me.
This the provocation came as China's state-run newspaper threatened to send warships to Hawaii and Guam in response to U.S. moves in the South China Sea.
Because they want Taiwan. And you know, here's a hillbilly observation. If China really was confident in how big of balls they really had, they would have already done something. Who is messaging me? I need to mute this shit. There we go. They would have already done something. They know they got the small kahunas. Yeah, they know. I mean, honestly, and this is going on to another topic, sort of, but honestly, even with our snowflakes in our military going along with the woke culture in the military, even with our snowflakes, to be honest, and this is going to sound, I'm going to sound like an ass. Yeah, you know what's coming. I'm going to sound like an asshole, but that's cannon fodder, man. That's the snowflakes in the military right now that's cannon fodder. And what comes after the cannon fodder? The fucking pain. That's what comes after it. Just saying. Anyway.
Let me read this.
If you don't mind.
The escalating tensions came amid a war of words over a new nuclear submarine pact between the UK, US, and Australia aimed at combating China, with Beijing denouncing their Cold War mentality. The new alliance, called AUKUS, AUKUS, will see the US and UK cooperate to build Australia's first ever nuclear submarine fleet, which will comprise at least 8 vessels. The trio will also share the other military technologies such as artificial intelligence, cyber defense, quantum computing, and long-range strike capabilities. Boris Johnson, Joe Biden, and Scott Morrison, which was funny. I have a clip that's not actually in this lineup I have, but it's funny because when they were doing this meeting, Joe Biden couldn't remember. He welcomed Boris Johnson and said his name. And then he looked over to the screen with the Australian Prime Minister and said, the guy down yonder. And Boris Johnson is in the background snickering because Joe Biden couldn't remember the name of the Australian Prime Minister, which is Scott Morrison.
But we, the people, are funding this.
Oh, I will go pull that video up. It's only like a minute long, but it's freaking hilarious to see the snickering Boris Johnson. He looks goofy, but he knows what's going on.
He absolutely does. They all do. Every one of them. I don't know where you stop.
Okay, all them leaders were careful not to mention Beijing as they announced the new deal last night, but there can be a little doubt that the alliance purpose is to counter China's growing aggression, particularly in the South China Sea, which is crisscrossed by vulnerable trading routes and fertile fishing grounds.
Mm-hmm.
Britain and America are to help Australia build fleet of nuclear-powered submarines as part of unprecedented alliance known as AUKUS pact to combat China's naval dominance, and will likely be the similar design at the Astute class submarine. Yeah, submarine. And here shows some of the patterns and path travels.
Well, I've got a question.
Okay.
Give me a second. I got to get it right. I understand needing to be prepared for whatever. But this dickhead cut our defense bill. Our defense budget. He cut it. Why the fuck are we, the people, paying for nuclear submarines to Australia and pissing on the French?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if you think about it, like we are over here trying to do this for other countries. Why aren't we taking care of our own backyard?
Because our backyard's nasty. And they don't want to deal with it. Because they're a bunch of pansies. They're a bunch of pansies. Plain and simple. And that's the best way I can put it. All right, let's go.
Where was it?
Right there.
Beijing is far from the only upset party. Paris was also quick to react with Foreign Minister Vies Le Drian complaining it is a stab in the back after 90 BN deal.
Yeah, I don't know
for
what that is.
France supply Australia with 12 conventionally powered submarines was torn up. The French subs were not due for completion until mid-2030, while the new pact aims for such faster delivery time. The deal also sidelines New Zealand and Canada, who together with the UK, US, and Australia make up the Cold War era Five Eyes intelligence agencies. While AUKUS is not a straight replacement for Five Eyes, it is almost certain to reduce its importance and isolates Wellington and Ottawa.
Hold at the end of that sentence. Ottawa from the group. All right. So let's back up a second. Let's go back up there to Canada. All right. We know that France got pissed on. Now we're seeing New Zealand and Canada were also pissed on. Well, how long have we heard about the Chinese in Canada? How long? It's been a while, right? At least 8 months, right? Okay. And we just pissed on Canada. And yet we've got China on our border, but yet China is the biggest threat. And that's why we're spending so much taxpayer dollars to build all these nuclear submarines for Australia. Is any of it making sense to anybody? It don't make a goddamn bit of sense to me. And yeah, excuse me, I'm foul mouthed. Everybody knows that, but it don't make two licks sense to me. None of it. How fucking deep is this administration in with China? How deep does it go?
Deep and wide.
Deep and wide. Oh my goodness. That brought back some memories. Oh goodness.
I was gonna play this. I was gonna play this just to get a giggle out of everybody because we need something to laugh at here.
Oh my goodness, absolutely.
Boris Johnson laughs at Biden after he forgets Australian Prime Minister's name. This is the nextnewsnetwork.com. I'm Elijah Schaefer, the host of the Blaze TV show You Are Here, and I'm currently filling in. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel by hitting that red button below right now as we get into our story from Christina Lila from the Gateway Pundit, who reports that Joe Biden on Wednesday delivered remarks about a new national security initiative and was joined virtually by Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison and UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Embarrassingly enough, Biden made an announcement of a joint deal with the UK and Australia on advanced defense tech sharing. Dementia Joe forgot the Australian Prime Minister's name and just referred to him as that fella down under and pal. I want to thank that fella down under. Thank you very much, pal, said Biden after struggling to remember Scott Morrison's name. Listen.
Reflecting the measure of trust between us, the depth of our friendship and the enduring strength of our shared values of freedom and democracy.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Boris. And I want to thank that fellow down under. Thank you very much.
He's laughing his ass. That is our fucking
Oh, the
leader.
Australian media jumped on the apparent
Oh.
slip up with the Australian 9 News, news.com.au, Sky News, and others zeroing in on it. Morrison is Australia's 5th prime minister since 2013, but even I don't live there, and I know who Scott Morrison is. It's sad to realize the president of the United States, or at least that's who they say he is, can't remember who the president, prime minister is of Australia. Probably doesn't even know he's the president of the country, or is he? Who knows? For the nextnewsnetwork.com, I'm Elijah Schaefer.
I'm about to piss my pants. I bet a lot of y'all would like to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
They elected him. That's all I'm going to say.
Who is they?
And exactly. There you go. That is the prime question.
All right. So from there, we're going to move on to la la la.
You sure it's not dum dee dum dum? Oh dear God.
We're going to move on to North Korea. This is also from the Next News Network, and it's Kim Jong-un tests Biden with secret weapon. They just launched from a train. And this was on Thursday.
Biden with a secret weapon that they just launched from a train. This is the nextnewsnetwork.com, and I'm Elijah Schaefer, the host of the Blaze TV show. You are here, and I'm filling in. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel by hitting that red button right now. Let's begin to our story from Christina Lila. From the Gateway Pundit, who reports, North Korea launched 2 short-range ballistic missiles into the East Sea on Thursday in violation of UN Security Council resolutions, the Yonhap News Agency reported. The U.S. State Department condemned the missile launch and encouraged North Korea to, quote, engage in dialogue. Quite funny to hear that, actually. Quote, we remain committed to a diplomatic approach to the DPRK, Democratic Republic of Korea, and call on them to engage in dialogue. Our commitment to the defense of the Republic of Korea and Japan remains ironclad, the State Department spokesperson said. North Korea said Thursday that a railway-borne missile regiment held a firing drill a day earlier, confirming the launches apparently from a train of 2 short-range ballistic missiles into the South or into the East Sea. The Sun has more. Take a look.
North Korea said on Thursday that the missiles it fired the day before were a test of its new railway-borne missile system, designed as a potential counterstrike to any forces threatening the country. When North Korean state media KCNA released photos of the launch, it said the missiles struck a target in the sea off the country's east coast. It also reported possible plans to expand the North's railway-borne missile unit. Analysts warn that system could make it more difficult for a foreign military to track and destroy the missiles before they are fired, though they also said the system will likely be constrained by the country's relatively limited and sometimes unreliable rail network.
Well, interestingly enough, it's actually kind of cool. I mean, I don't know. I thought that was neat. The Railway-Borne Missile Regiment took part in the drill with a mission to strike the target area 800 kilometers away from its location after moving to the central mountainous area at dawn of September 15th. The official Korean Central News Agency, KCNA, said. The KCNA said that the North Korea accurately struck the target in the East Sea. The missiles appeared to have been launched from a train rather than a transporter erector launcher called a TEL, according to photos released by state media. Japanese Prime Minister Sugo Yoshihide said the provocation was completely inexcusable. This is an outrage that threatens our nation and regional peace and security. The ballistic missiles launched this week come just a few days after Pyongyang successfully test-fired new long-range cruise missiles and hit targets 1,500 kilometers away. North Korea's recent repeated launches of ballistic missiles and other projectiles are a serious problem for Japan and the international community as a whole, the Japanese defense minister said, according to Kyodo News. And of course, for this, we have to stay alarmed in realizing that the reality of what might come into play is truly a war with China where North Korea gets their back. For the nextnewsnetwork.com, I'm Elijah Schaefer from Blaze TV. Have a good night.
Thank you for watching that Report a Question.
What's the benefit? It doesn't matter if you're on a damn rail car or freaking in a bunker. It doesn't matter. You shoot a nuclear missile and the world goes to shit. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. But I do find it funny that this administration ignores North Korea.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you remember when our Presidente Trump first got in office, North Korea was flexing, and that only lasted for quite some time because it got shut down. Now, when you have someone like Trump shutting a power-hungry country down, but then when you have a president we have now that just ignores everything. I mean, the fact that they're even testing these missiles says a lot.
They're spitting in our face.
Yeah. They're testing the waters to see how far away they can get.
And with fucking pansy ass Molly and pansy ass Austin at the lead, yeah.
Well,
we don't stand a chance.
From right here, that's all of the foreign international countries and military aspects that I have. So if you want to get into the Miley right now, you can.
I don't have nothing set up. I'm sorry. I told you.
Okay, you're good.
It's been a rough.
I'm sure. See, a lot of the stuff that I grabbed, and I try to do this. A lot of people may know. I get things that's not really being discussed because if you know in the news right now, everyone's talking about Miley. Everyone knows what he did. He made the phone call, and when he made the phone call was January 8th of 2021, which was right after.
Well, there were two of them.
The big bad insurrection. And so everybody's pretty much heard that. And that's one reason why I didn't pull any of those, because everyone has been hearing that. So I actually was getting stuff that's, buried in the news.
Yep.
Because I think some of that's important too, and you can't ignore it because all this stuff adds up. So if you don't have anything else on that, do you want me to move on?
We talked earlier. I mean,
yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I am not on my game, but I'm here.
You're good.
What the hell was that?
What?
Oh. I ain't seen Mama or Aunt Roxy. Oh, I'm disappointed. You need to let them know that I'm disappointed.
I sent him a message.
I'm disappointed. I love them both. All right, I'm shutting up.
This one is from Newsmax. Biden will weaponize the IRS just like his boss Obama did.
With a new administration obsessed with equity, it was only a matter of time before the delusional pay your fair share left-wing talking points returned. This country lives under a liberal-created illusion that the wealthy simply cruise through life in a Rolls-Royce going 80 miles an hour down a boulevard of green lights, while the poor and middle class slave away and pay all the taxes. It is a despicable lie. It is demonstrably false, but it works well in creating animosity for the rich. That's the intended purpose. It is a lie that has given the world governments based on collectivism for hundreds of years. Governments that end in spectacles of failure that are documented in history books that schools won't let your kids read. Liberals insist the top 1% is not paying its fair share. So let's quickly just debunk that and then we'll move on. In 2018, the latest year with available data from the IRS, the top 1%, which accounted for people making over $540,000 that year, earned 21% of the income and paid 40% of the bills. Transition, the bottom 50%, earning less than $43,600 that year, took in 12% of all the income, paying only 3% of all the bills. And you can see how liberal our tax system is from that. And yet Americans who make good money and pay for most of the nice things we have, people that give away about half of their income, still get to hear stuff like this.
Big corporations and super wealthy have to start paying their fair share of taxes. It's long overdue. I'm not out to punish anyone. I'm a capitalist. If you can make $1 million or $1 billion, that's great. God bless you. All I'm asking is you pay your fair share.
A definition of fair share is a question that must be answered at some point. And of course, it's a question the White House never gets. I'd love to see them try to explain how it's not already fair. They couldn't do it. The top 1%, again, pay 40% of the bills. The top 5% in this country pay 60% of the bills. The top 10% in this country pay 71% of the bills. The great irony is one could actually argue Biden's right. It does need to be more equitable. Higher earners should probably pay less. Imagine that argument from a political candidate. That wouldn't go well. The House Ways and Means Committee approving a major portion of Democrats' $3.5 trillion spending package this week, which would raise the corporate tax rate for income above $5 million from 21 to 26.5%. Raise the top individual income tax rate from 37 back up to 39.6, where it was before Trump, and raise the top capital gains tax rate from 20 to 25%. Now, today, Biden vilified the companies in this country that employ so many of the people in this nation, and again, pushed the false idea that they don't pay any taxes. Take a listen.
Since the pandemic began, billionaires have seen their wealth go up by $1.8 trillion. How is it possible that 55 of the largest corporations in this country
Okay, I want to stop it there because he's talking about the big corporations and how they've gained wealth in the past year. That was with intent because what did they do during the pandemic? Close the small businesses. Who is the most beneficial recipient out of these big corporations? Do you know Amazon,
Bezos.
Amazon,
Bezos.
Coca-Cola,
You fuck some
Facebook,
Coke shit.
all of these big corporations are left-leaning, promote the wokeness, and donate to the DNC. So do you really think he means what he's do you think he means what he says? No, he doesn't mean what he says. Because actually, he falls in the same category. He's talking about millions and billions. This man right here being a politician, why would a politician be able to be a millionaire off of a salary only in 6 digits? That's just food for thought.
It's called crookedness.
Of course it is. But
you're a fucking crook.
He doesn't mean what he says.
None of them. None of them. When was the last time you really, really believed and they followed through what a politician said? Let's go back to the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Okay. Who the fuck controls the country?
Supposed to be we the people.
It's supposed to be, but guess what? We've gotten away from that. It seems that people have forgotten that we have the voice. All right, I'm sorry. I yanked it.
Paid $0 in federal income taxes. That 55 of the largest corporations in this country paid $0 in federal income taxes.
So if you were to claim that illegal immigrants in this country paid no taxes, you'd be berated by liberal fact checkers who would say that's false. They would cite sales tax and maybe some other taxes, gas taxes that they pay, all outside of traditional income taxes.
And
That's what
we've
they'd
run
say.
into that.
The problem is the same is true for corporations, which liberals always claim pay no taxes. That's a lie. Corporations pay income tax, payroll tax, property tax, excise tax. There's a lot of ways they pay a lot of taxes. And again, they employ everybody too. Biden is right, though. Many don't pay income tax, even if they make a profit. There's a reason, though. It's that we want to keep corporations here. And there are other countries that are trying to take them from us. Of course, everybody wants corporations headquartered in their country. We want to keep them here. We want to keep people motivated also to start corporations. You motivate that by giving people that own corporations yachts. That's how you get people trying to create jobs in a country, not just take one. The country needs people creating jobs, not just taking them. We all know this. And we wisely incentivize that, or at least we did before people like Biden got into power. The president also touted his plan to ramp up IRS enforcement on everybody, which could signal an end to financial privacy for Americans. It's pretty scary stuff here. In order to do this, he plans to use taxpayer money, of course, to give the IRS an additional $80 billion in funding over the next 10 years.
It will give the IRS the resources it needs to keep up with the lawyers and accountants and the super wealthy. It would ask just for two pieces of information from the banks of these folks, that amounts that come into their bank accounts and what amounts go out of their bank accounts. So that the wealthy can no longer hide.
And I'm going to cough there because he did. The amounts that he's talking about, people, is $600.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to watch you, not the rich. $600 is the amount that this guy, I don't even know to call him a guy, to be honest with you. Who the hell knows what he has between his legs?
He's a big guy.
Yeah, whatever. I'm probably, I'm going to shut up. Go ahead.
Are you done?
I am.
Hide what they're making.
Nor could anybody. Biden's plan is to allow the IRS to monitor financial transactions from any personal or business account with $600 or more. Remember when government spying on people was a bad thing? Remember when liberals fought back against this kind of garbage? Where did they go? I suppose they're happy to give up personal freedoms to gain their so-called liberal utopia they think they're going to get. An article in Reason today warned enhanced tax enforcement will mean hoovering up more data from crypto wallets, bank accounts, and third-party payment providers such as PayPal and Venmo. And that comes after Biden already ordered the IRS to give greater scrutiny to transactions in the so-called sharing economy. We've seen the IRS become more political throughout the years, most notably with former President Barack Obama, who weaponized the IRS against the Tea Party and other conservative nonprofit groups that were seeking tax-exempt status between 2010 and 2012. Critics said the agency had subjected those targeted groups to extra scrutiny, questioning, and long delays, largely because their names suggested they would be political opponents of Obama. Yeah, that was the Obama. They never had any scandals. That's just one of them. You got to love giving the IRS more power, right? What's the approval rating for the IRS in this country, by the way? I got to wonder. They want to give them $80 billion more dollars. How many Americans like the IRS? Can't imagine how this could backfire. The truth is this, though. If you took every penny of income from every single person earning more than $1 million in this country, that's who we vilified, right? If you make more than $1 million, if you make $1 million or $1 billion, you need to pay your fair share. If you took all the money from everybody making over $1 million in this country, you'd have less than $1 trillion in revenue. And as you've seen with the congressional spending plans lately, that is nothing. What this country has is a spending problem. The revenue is fine, and the taxation schedule is extremely progressive, almost unfairly the other way, and probably is unfair the other way. It's not just progressive enough for the socialists occupying the White House. That's the problem. The American economy is in a very fragile place right now. An administration reeling with a low approval rating and multiple massive failures would be wise to avoid any big moves, like big tax hikes that might scare off a reasonable COVID recovery. But of course, in classic Joe Biden form, they're trying to go against all logic yet again.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for...
They're trying to go against all logic. I'd say.
And that just goes along with what Cyber just said.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's not, here we go. That's not targeting logic. That's targeting emotion through use of logos. Absolutely. Guys, our government thinks it does not work for us. As a matter of fact, yep, don't drop your head and scratch your head. I believe that there was a video where Biden told a guy, "I don't work for you." Really, motherfucker? Our elected officials
I don't work for you.
Yeah, right. Our elected officials are exactly that. They are elected. They work for the American people.
But the way that our politicians, and I'll say there's a handful that actually go to Washington and do their thing, but for the masses, for the most part, they think we work for them. And I say that because we work for them. They just see us as a way to earn the government money. That's all they see us as. We're another number. And
we're the peasants.
We work for them in the way that we keep their pockets filling up through tax dollars.
How much was Pelosi's ice cream? Do you remember?
Some expensive ice cream.
That was some pretty expensive ice cream.
And a pretty expensive refrigerator.
Oh my God.
I got the classic refrigerator with two tall doors, and she's got doors that's like mini doors with drawers at the bottom. I'm like, okay, I see you.
Right. Shit. All right, let's keep going. Let's go full blown.
All right.
I am going to have to dip for a second and take a smoke. I will be back.
I see how it is.
Don't you hand me that shit.
Well, you keep listening though, like listen on your phone or something.
I do.
Okay, because we need a commentary after.
You just want me to make an ass of myself.
No, I want you to be able to commentate.
Okay, all right.
Know what the video was about.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Her Kaepernick special. Yeah,
Talking
I'm
about
kind of.
Pelosi's ice cream.
Oh, Pelosi's ice cream, Kaepernick special. Yeah, kneeling on the throats of the damn. Yeah. All right, I gotta go smoke a cigarette.
This one is by Newsmax. Olympians unravel the corrupt FBI. And this is something that's been buried for a while as well.
So the FBI needs a complete overhaul. The left has weaponized it to the point where its sole purpose seems to be to inflict pain on conservatives to the detriment of the people. While rogue FBI agents served its left-wing partisan leaders, like the now infamous James Comey, real victims suffered because they were ignored while heinous crimes were being committed against them. Why? Because agents were so focused on Trump and Russian collusion, they ignored the people who needed them most.
We suffered and continue to suffer because no one at FBI, USAG, or the USOPC did what was necessary to protect us. We have been failed and we deserve answers. Nassar is where he belongs, but those who enabled him deserve to be held accountable.
All right, so that is gymnastic legend Simone Biles at a Senate Judiciary hearing, ripping the FBI over its botched investigation into the former USA Gymnastics team Dr. Larry Nassar, who is now finally serving a multi-decade sentence for his history of abuse and child molestation. But by all accounts, he should have been in prison a long time ago, long before now. I believe the FBI, in its quest to derail then-candidate Trump by concocting that bogus Russian collusion hoax of an investigation, turned its back on the most vulnerable, victims of sexual abuse like these gymnasts.
Not only did the FBI not report my abuse, but when they eventually documented my report 17 months later, they made entirely false claims about what I said.
Can you imagine? Does that sound familiar to you? This is what happened to Trump witnesses. Agents doctored interview transcripts, buried evidence that would have cleared President Trump and his allies caught in the FBI's web of lies. The FBI protected the elite ruling class, the Obama, Clinton, Biden axis of corruption. It's now clear agents don't care about the truth or protecting anyone, not even our American gymnast superstars. And if they won't protect them, do you really think they'll protect you?
The FBI, USOC, and USAG sat idly by as dozens of girls and women continued to be molested by Larry Nassar. They had legal, legitimate evidence of child abuse and did nothing. These FBI agents have committed an obvious crime. They falsified my statement, and that is illegal in itself.
It's absolutely disgusting. The agents involved in this should all be prosecuted, just as the agents in the Trump-Russian collusion hoax should be prosecuted. In many respects, this case, though, is far worse than the Russian collusion hoax because agents allowed a child molester, a predator, to victimize and, yes, even rape teen girls. The stories were heart-wrenching to hear today. How could any human being allow that to continue, especially an officer of the law? And this is all FBI Director Christopher Wray has to say in response to these women's testimony today.
What's missing? What am I missing here? This is like a child kidnapping case. This man is on the loose molesting children, and it appears that it's being lost in the paperwork of the agency.
I don't have a good explanation for you. It is utterly jarring to me.
Oh, give me a break. You don't have a good explanation. This all started in 2015. Now we're here in 2021. He has an explanation, though, you know, folks. He just can't admit it. The explanation is that the FBI committed itself to one thing and one thing only, the ouster of President Trump, all because a corrupt Democrat Party weaponized the FBI to wage political war on its foes. So in many ways, Hillary Clinton and the rest of her Russia-obsessed cronies should take some of the blame in this sexual abuse scandal, too.
If they're not going to protect me, I want to know, who are they trying to protect? The Department of Justice refused to prosecute these individuals. Why? Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco couldn't even bring herself to be here today. Why are public servants whose job is to protect getting away with this? This is not justice. Enough is enough.
Michaela Maroney is a true American hero. The strength she showed today to speak up, just like Simone Biles and the others, was impressive. But it's far too late. This should have happened a long time ago. Not their fault, our government's fault. Do you see the issue here? Just as the FBI's vindictive actions against political foes can destroy lives, just ask any one of President Trump's allies caught up in the FBI's anti-Trump scheme, the FBI's inaction can equally ruin lives. For the FBI, the Russian collusion hoax was absolutely all-consuming. Who can forget the Parkland shooting in 2018? Agents ignored warning signs and tips that the Parkland school shooter may soon act out. The FBI did nothing. 17 people are now dead because of that inaction too. Russia had infected the FBI and warped the minds of agents hell-bent on removing President Trump from office. Now, these women clearly still live with the trauma the FBI could have prevented.
This game,
Well,
you're not ready for it.
Let's pause it real quick. Where the fuck is Me Too movement? Or did that only pertain to Trump? Does any of it make any sense to any of you guys? Any of you? I don't care if you're man or woman. Because obviously I'm a man. But does it make sense to you? Where the fuck is Me Too?
Let's not forget this case actually started in 2015 when some of these were teenagers.
And guess what? Me Too never brought it up. Why? It didn't fit their narrative.
They got nothing politically to gain out of it.
Exactly. There you go. Nothing. They don't give two shits about these women. Sad. There is no justice being done unless just saying. All right. I'm sorry.
You're good.
The FBI issued no search warrants and made no arrests. The OIG report found that senior FBI officials lied to the Inspector General, engaged in serious conflicts of interest, and tried to cover up one of the biggest child sexual abuse scandals in the history of amateur sports.
Lies, and cover-ups. One of the most respected agencies, the FBI, is now tarnished beyond repair. It is a disgrace. You know, every day on this program, I wear a law enforcement pin right here on this program. I wear it because I have so much respect for law enforcement. Do you know, I refuse to wear the pin of the FBI. I haven't in years because the FBI has been weaponized against the very people it should protect, the citizens of America. Well, joining me now is Republican Congressman of Texas and member of the House Judiciary Committee, Louis Gohmert is here. Congressman Gohmert, it's good to have you back on the program.
Great to be with you, Grant, and I so much appreciate your approach on this horrific story. And this is a pattern for the FBI. So thank you.
You know, absolutely, Congressman. I think they left real Americans hung out to dry in their quest to just overcome this agency. What would you like to see happen to the FBI? I say it needs a complete overhaul.
I'm not sure if it can be adequately overhauled now. I think there's been so much damage done between Mueller, Comey, and now Christopher Wray. And you talked about, they're sweeping things under the rug. Christopher Wray, if President Trump had asked me about him before he appointed him, I would have told him the country's not safe if he's there. It's not a good idea. He was put in there to clean up the FBI, and all he's done is sweep stuff under the rug. And that is not the way to clean up. That's my opinion of how he's gone about doing this. And don't think for a minute there was one FBI agent, one, that knew anything about what these courageous gymnasts came forward, at least Simone back in 2015. That took incredible courage. And I can guarantee you that that didn't stop with one FBI agent. He immediately went to other agents, to his supervisor. He's required to do that, to pass this information. Oh my gosh, the U.S. Olympic Committee is doing, it's horrible what's going on. The doctor is molesting the girls. This is the allegation. This is serious. What are we going to do? One FBI agent would never have handled this on his or her own. You always discuss it. You pass it up. They pass it up. The decision not to pursue this didn't come from one lowly FBI agent, but once again, Christopher Wray sweeping it under the rug. I don't know who's holding the rug up so we can sweep it under there, but we need a full accounting on this and so many stories. Like with the FISA, the fraud on the FISA court, they left one FBI agent to take the whole rap for the top, all the way down to that FBI agent actually committing fraud upon the FISA court, and only one FBI agent who was allowed to leave the FBI, go get a better job. That was his punishment. Yeah. This is so outrageous, though, to allow this to happen to these girls. We need a full cleaning out of the FBI. You could bring local constables in and do a better job than this.
You absolutely could. When you look at the history of the Russian collusion hoax, I talked about the Parkland shooting. You talked about the FISA warrants and the disgrace with that. Is there anybody that could be prosecuted for this? Because these girls suffered under the hands of this molester because of their inaction.
Yeah, I think there's a potential there. There's a potential possibly for even a liability suit if they were acting beyond the realm of their employment. Their job is to pass this information on, but we need to find out exactly who passed on the information to whom, what was done about it, how far up did this go? Because this kind of thing has potential to get all the way up to the Obama White House. We need to know how far up it went and how far up the decision was made to just sit on it and let this go. But you're right. It was back in 2016, they were getting into the Russia.
Congressman, if it's like any of these other scandals out of the FBI, it goes pretty darn high up and straight to the Obama White House and the Hillary Clinton campaign. So I appreciate you coming on, laying this out for us, Congressman Louis Gohmert. Always good to see you, sir. Thank you.
Always good to be with you. Thanks, Graham.
Where do I start?
Go for it. Because following this is the Hillary Clinton thing.
Well, again, guys, I'm catching it just as you guys are catching it. I have not had the opportunity to research anything that we got set up. So this is my reactions. Treason at the highest level. All of them.
Our government agencies is not somebody you can trust. I mean, from these girls to the Biden laptops to Hillary Clinton and Russiagate to, ooh, can we say Pizzagate?
Yes, say pizza. Pizzagate. Yes, yes, yes.
Can we say Afghanistan Gate? Like,
Guys, I'm just going to say it. There is no knight in shining armor coming to rescue us on a white horse.
it's more of a, it's in a Trojan horse.
Too much of my bald head showing. Sorry, guys. Oh, and yeah, I've been working. As y'all can tell, I've been working. So I have not had the opportunity to wash my ass and get prepared for the live. Our country is
Afghani Gate. Which is still continuing, by the way. Actually, all of these that just got brought up is still continuing, left unresolved with a lot of questions that needs to be answered. And they're having, hearings in the Senate, and the person being asked the questions is just lying. So
yeah.
About
Blinken. Can
About
we talk
that.
about Blinken? Can we please talk about this dumbass? He's a moron. He's a bigger moron than... Anyway, the other moron's gone.
They're all morons.
They are absolutely all morons.
And nobody wants to take accountability.
I hate to think if I don't fuck up, I won't accept it. And I'm going to say this, but that also goes with Bridget. If I fuck up, I tell Bridget I fucked up.
Waylon.
Yes, that was... Hey, Way. Way's wanting in Fate's room. If I fuck up, I fucking accept it. At work. Well, if I fuck up at work, I'm the first one to let anybody know. Hey,
He's telling on you.
He's wanting into Faith's room. If I fuck up at work, I'm the first one to let anybody know I fucked up. Because it eats me alive that I messed up. I'm better than that. We're all better than that. Every one of us. You fuck up, accept it. Move forward. Look for the solution. Don't look at the problem. Because there's a solution to everything. There's only a problem to one thing. Let's go.
Sounded like prophecy, huh?
No.
I'm just kidding.
I'm the last person anybody needs to listen to that from, but
All right, next up is bringing back old Hillary Clinton.
remember the Durham probe? They're still at work. And this guy has been indicted. I've never seen him either, but his name is Michael Sussman. Was a lawyer whose firm represented Hillary Clinton's campaign. And Mr. Sussman here is now accused of lying to the FBI. Michael Sussman. I was hoping for more, but hey, this probe I hear is not over. Let's bring in Congressman Devin Nunes, Republican of California, ranking member on the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman, welcome back. What do you think of
Thanks,
this all this time? And Michael Sussman.
It's a pretty serious indictment. I actually have it right here in my hand, and I've been reading through it. And you got to remember, this is one of the top lawyers for the Clinton campaign. Clearly, he was taking direction from the Clinton campaign. They hid under these lawyers. This is what they like to do with privilege. That's why they were having lawyers go and do the dirty work. And look, I think what we got to look out for now is Clintons have a long history of their lawyers and agents disappearing. So I think you and your viewers know that history.
So, yes, indeed. Now, let's, for those who haven't been following this as closely, Sussman, as a lawyer for the campaign, was allegedly doing what? He was involved potentially in digging up dirt on Donald Trump, or what did he do? What was he lying about? You know,
he came before our committee. He was one of the targets of our investigation. And actually, in the indictment, they used some of our investigation in the actual indictment. So what he did is we weren't sure because he never admitted it to us, but he looks like he was actually helping to develop the fake narrative that was launched right before the election. This was the Alpha Bank issue, if you may remember, that somewhere in Trump Tower, they were communicating with Russians. And this was the bombshell that they were trying to get produced by the fake news media just about 10 days out from the campaign. So they developed this narrative. They produced the narrative. It was totally phony. They knew they were phony. And it looks like Durham got to the bottom of it because he has there's a lot of evidence in this indictment. There's a lot of evidence in here. I think it's a slam dunk indictment from my perspective.
We have a portion of it, the indictment you're holding. Let's put it up on the screen. He was making statements to the FBI. The statement was intentionally false and misleading because in assembling and conveying these allegations, Sussman acted on behalf of specific clients, namely a U.S. technology industry executive at a U.S. internet company and the Hillary Clinton presidential campaign. It said earlier that he portrayed himself, the FBI understood that he was just a good citizen passing along information. That's how he presented himself. All right, but I will tell you, for those in the business, you've heard of this guy, you've met him before. What about Strzok? What about McCabe? What about these much bigger figures? What's his name? John Brennan from the CIA. Those are the big fish. Are they still in jeopardy?
Well, we don't know that. All we know were the public statements that were made by the Department of Justice last year. And we were told at the time that they were actually looking at the FBI specifically. Now, this would be something new. This is a new development. I think a lot of people at that time were kind of like, well, yeah, we know the FBI was corrupt and we know these guys did some wrongdoing, but who's really behind this? And I think that's what this indictment shows. It shows that the Clinton indictment, at least in one portion of it, we now have the evidence that, we had the circumstantial evidence. We now have emails and communications, and clearly Durham's done interviews in this. So I would hope that this is only the first of several other indictments. I think we still want to see the government officials held accountable. But look, this is right at the Clinton campaign. And at the end of the day, Greg, remember, it's the Clinton campaign who concocted this nonsense. In fact, many of those same people that were involved in, what you could call it the Russiagate, Russia hoax, or the P-tape hoax, they are now in the Biden White House. So, look, I think Durham is circling the wagons here. We'll see what happens with this lawyer. I mean, I'd be surprised if he doesn't make a plea agreement. Maybe he's going to talk, maybe he won't. But I think this is a step in the right direction is the bottom line.
Let's make some suppositions here. He's lying. Let's accept for a moment that he's probably lying. If he had told the truth to the FBI, would he have been admitting to a crime, or was he just trying to minimize political damage?
Well, look, it gets to the larger question, and that is, can you bring, look, there was a conspiracy here. You've heard me talk about this for many, many years. The Clinton campaign conspired with really bad agents and bad actors within the FBI and other locations. So this guy you got lying to the FBI. We know that people conspired to do this. Conspiracy is a major charge, and it can be very, very broad. So, that's what I would like to see is, who was this the only guy that did it? Is he going to be the fall guy for the Clinton campaign? We've seen that in history. Remember, we've seen people in history be the fall guy for the Clintons.
Congressman,
but
I have to wrap up real quick. Are you frustrated though, or even angry that Durham didn't move quicker, or is this how long this stuff takes?
No, I'm actually not. I think you've asked me this question before. I'm one of the only few people that actually have faith in this investigation. Maybe I'm a half glass full guy, but I think this is a good development. I just want to make sure we see a handful of other indictments.
All right, Congressman Devin Nunes, I appreciate it so much. Republican of California, ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee, and a true patriot, sir. We thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
If you're blind to what's coming up next, you need to get your fucking head out of the sand.
This comment.
She's awesome. I'm just going to let y'all know this is a friend of mine off of Discord.
Crumble to dust.
She is freaking awesome. She is awesome. Oh, guys. Let's keep moving forward. I'm about to get off on a side rant. So yeah, keep going.
You have anything else about the government agencies?
Yeah, they're crooked as fuck. You can't trust a goddamn one of them. None of them. It doesn't matter if it's the DOJ, the HHS. You can't trust none of them.
HHS, even NSA. Woo! I watched a documentary, and can I tell you, the NSA
is crooked as fuck. You can't trust none of them.
The NSA is nothing but a organization that goes against the Fourth Amendment.
And it brings us to tomorrow's live. Just saying.
You ready?
They're ready.
This one is the Catholic community reacts to recent comments made by the Pope Francis. And a lot of people didn't hear about this.
No, it's been kept quiet.
That's what we're here for. Let it out.
Pope Francis today spoke on the issue of abortion after several Catholic politicians have come out in support of pro-choice legislation. His Holiness reaffirmed that abortion was murder, but warned bishops not to get political. He said that bishops should minister with compassion and tenderness and told them to, quote, be pastors, not politicians. He also told them not to excommunicate pro-choice lawmakers. Well, joining us now to discuss the ongoing debate is Catholic priest, founder of Plating Grace, Father Leo Paddling Hug. Well, welcome to the show, Father.
Thank you.
All right, so what is your initial reaction to the Pope's ruling here, or comments, rather?
Well, I'm not in a position to disagree with the Holy Father, but maybe to help provide some pastoral perspective for people, because it's very obvious that in the media, they're going to want to use a soundbite to try to divide the faithful flock from the shepherd, who is 100% right. We all
Wait a minute. Pause it right there. The mainstream media would want to twist what Pope Francis is trying to portray.
As make it more in their favor.
Okay. All right. I just had that one
Well,
question.
well, anyone who knows anything about the corruption from the Vatican should make you rethink some things, even from a Pope standpoint. Like, I'm not gonna diddle in any of that because I'm not gonna
Right.
try and get a strike.
Yeah.
But if no one has done research on the Vatican and the corruptness,
It's a very long rabbit hole, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's all we got to say. All right.
Division or at least a separation between church and state. However, it's not a divorce. And these two independent institutions have to dialogue with each other for the good of the people. And so as a priest or a church official is not supposed to play politics, a politician is not also supposed to play moral arbitrator, especially when it comes to something as sacred as life and protecting it from an abortion.
So let me ask you this, because based on your comment initially, right? This was a comment that the Pope made on a plane with the media, right? It's not official doctrine. So how do you guys interpret this? Because it wasn't like he was sending it down from the Vatican and saying, thou shalt give communion to everybody. He was saying, this is what I think.
Yes, he's providing a pastoral perspective. It would be wonderful if a bishop could actually speak to a Catholic politician and make sure that their consciences are properly formed. Unfortunately, what we're experiencing is that once a person is elected into public office, they seem to know everything, but they really aren't familiar with the Catholic Church's teaching, especially with regards to the sanctity of human life. Because remember, a government official is supposed to just simply provide protection for our citizens and to provide infrastructure. I'm not quite sure where their formed consciences are saying that a child is now seen as an enemy of the state, an unborn child is somehow going to affect infrastructure. What the Holy Father is trying to tell us to do as shepherds is to make sure that we are teaching the faithful, even to our politicians, so that they can have a properly formed conscience as well.
All right. Pause.
So what has been the response?
First off, with all due respect, absolute all due respect, the Holy Father, Christ, the Son of God, that is the Holy Father. Would never want a child of his creation killed in the womb of the mother. Just as much as he would not want an experimental thing. You like how I did that? Thing
Mm-hmm.
put into your body that changes your DNA.
You're treading thin waters.
Don't care. Oh, shit. I forgot which one we're on. I'm sorry. But I don't think I hit any of the triggers. I don't think. What happened to my body, my choice? Or is it and in this aspect, we're on a religious aspect. But yet the Vatican wants everybody to get that thing. just
It's all political propaganda.
propaganda.
Any
And-
topics are used at their disposal. It doesn't matter. The issue at hand is not what matters. It's whatever they can use at their disposal.
Well, hell, for that, exactly. For that matter, guess what? Wet ass pussy got shut down. Sorry.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Got shut down. Why? Questioning. Ain't that amazing?
I ain't gonna lie. I gained some respect for Nicki Minaj this week.
She stood up.
Mhm.
She stood up. What is it that we constantly keep saying? We are here to do what? Wake people up.
Mhm. A lot of people saying she got red pilled. I don't think that's the case. I think she's just being a woman with reason for making questions about a subject. And for her to have the mentality of, I want to do my own research on this, says a lot about her character than saying, you have all these other celebrities out there trying to make a stance on saying you should do it because it's the right thing. And she's saying, well, I think she's pregnant. Is she pregnant or just had a kid? And she said,
I don't know.
She
keep
just
up with it that much.
I was just reading it in the articles, and I think the fact that she's either A, pregnant, or B, just had a kid has a lot of factor in on her. And it's not hesitancy. It is doing her due diligence in her research. And this is me talking about the subject without bringing the subject up.
All right. I got to bring up Mama Honky. I hope she don't mind that. Mama Honky, elaborate on Nikki.
Oh, okay. Actually, I have an article in the description, and after this video, I'll bring that up because it talks about that. I'll elaborate on Nikki without saying the trigger words.
Yeah, there's a bunch of trigger words, obviously.
Yeah. Well, let's finish this one up, and then we'll jump on Nikki.
Sounds good.
So,
response from other priests and bishops on these comments, like to Sean's point, since it did not come down as a ruling or as official, are you going to serve politicians who are openly pro-choice?
Well, unfortunately, as a Catholic priest, I do have some limitations. And one of them is that I can't read souls. So if a politician who I know is publicly pro-abortion comes to me for communion, that is not a place and time for me to have a debate and discussion, especially since I am not in a position to know whether or not that politician has gone to confession for this grievous sin, which it clearly is one. However, what we can do is make sure that prior to a politician receiving communion, that we communicate with their office in advance to make sure that there is no scandal to the faithful, which is exactly what is happening. When a Catholic politician who is 100% not only in support of abortion, but almost seems to celebrate it, it causes scandal to the faithful and confusion to everyone else surrounding the situation and watching it. So we have to be, as the scriptures say, cunning as serpents, but innocent as doves. We need to be better in dialoguing with politicians prior to them receiving communion.
So let me just ask you this before we let you go, Father. Here's the question I have for you. A lot of politicians will say, I'm personally pro-life, but I don't want to instill my values on anybody else, right? Does this hurt you?
Okay. Can you back it up to the doves?
To the doves.
Yeah, back it up to where he was talking about peaceful as doves.
Them receiving communion.
So let me just ask you this before we let you go.
Better in dialoguing with politicians prior to them receiving communion.
So let me just ask you this before we let you go, Father. Here's the question I have for you. A lot of politicians will say, I'm personally pro-life, but I don't want to instill my values on anybody else, right? Does this personally pro-life, but I don't, let me just ask you this before we let you go, Father. Here's the question I have for you. A lot of politicians
prior to them receiving communion.
So let me just ask you this before we let
you go. As serpents, but innocent as doves. We need to be better in than watching it. So we have to be, as the scriptures say, cunning as serpents, but innocent as doves. We need to be better in dialoguing with politicians.
I'm going to disagree.
To them receiving communion.
I'm going to disagree.
Okay.
The Bible teaches us how we should deal with righteous anger. And it has nothing to do with a dove. It has nothing to do with peacefulness. Again, like I said in the beginning, I am not prepared tonight. I've got a lot going on in my own life, but God teaches us that there is a time for righteous anger. And you make your own choice whether now is time to be peaceful doves or righteous anger. All right.
So let me just ask you this before we let you go, Father. Here's the question I have for you. A lot of politicians will say, I'm personally pro-life, but I don't want to instill my values on anybody else, right? Does this hurt your ability to do that? Because you go to pull this politician aside and say, hey, I want to counsel you on this. Right now, they're going to say, hey, listen, Father, listen to what the Pope said. I can do this.
Yeah, they would be completely misinterpreting what the Holy Father says when basically playing not only Pope themselves, but in many ways, politicians love to play God. And I have no trouble reminding them that they are not, and that an unborn child has rights, and we have a responsibility to speak up and protect it.
Well, amen. Well, Father Paddling Hug, I hope that you have some awesome interactions with some of these politicians out there and can change some of their hearts and minds. Thanks for your time here tonight.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video,
Dum dum dum.
Dun dun dun.
Okay.
My body, my choice.
It should apply, right? Like if that's the way it is, then it should apply at all times.
What are you reading that nobody else is seeing that you're giggling about?
Oh no. Well, the Nicki Minaj thing started on Twitter.
Oh,
So
you're on Twitter.
I had to for a class project that I had last semester.
Oh my goodness.
And actually,
oh, wait a minute. You freaking heifers got me on fascist book.
Right.
I'm not going on Twitter as well.
Oh no, I really don't use it. But she I'm not gonna lie, she's been on point. Okay, so backstory.
It makes no sense. None of it makes sense.
Basically, what happened is she put a tweet out this week, and in the tweet, it basically stated that she's questioning the vacation because think before you say whatever you're about to say. She's questioning the vacation because she has doubts of
Him
the
being
location.
there for her. Him being there for her.
Yeah. And she don't want him to leave her and fail her because it'll be detrimental to the relationship. Okay, so she did that she did that by saying that her cousin went on vacation and got her cousin went on vacation and got left at the altar.
There you go. Oh my God.
Literally, he got left at the altar because he got stung by a vacation on his testicles and they enlarged.
Oh my God.
Golly.
He had bull nuts.
Yeah, he got an allergic reaction on his vacation and it enlarged his testicles to the size that was enormous, and it made his to-be bride leave him. No, this is serious. And this is me saying it without saying it. Okay, so in that, she posted that on Twitter talking about her vacation questioning, and Joy Reid picked that up from the left media and basically went and ran her own narrative saying Nicki Minaj is anti-vacations. Cousin's friend, my bad. Yeah, cousin's friend. Okay. So
I want some bull nuts.
No, you don't.
Those are called mountain oysters.
Ew.
Yeah.
So
come on now. I got to give you some mountain oysters.
No. So in that, Joy Reid ran with the left narrative and said she was anti-vacation, and shame on her for being a Black woman and not using her platform with the 22 million followers that she has. She's doing an injustice. Okay, so then Nicki Minaj clapped back and basically said, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just a talking head for the white man. And by that meaning politicians. Okay, so I have a article, because this is escalated, from Fox News. Discussing this, and the article, Nicki Minaj hits back at Biden White House after it claims vacation-related phone call, not visit, was offered. Earlier this week, Nicki Minaj faced backlash after she wrote tweet asserting that a friend of her cousin's became impotent after a vacation. Rapper Nicki Minaj hits back at the White House on Wednesday after the Biden administration put out a statement clarifying it had offered a phone call to discuss her vacation hesitancy, not an in-person visit. And then she said this, do y'all think I will go on the internet and lie about being invited to the effing White House? Like what? Do you guys see what is happening right now? Nicki Minaj said in a 14-minute video posted to Instagram. She claimed her manager and publicist were on a call with White House in which administration officials said, we'd like to offer Nicki an invitation to come to the White House to speak with very well renounced medical providers that tells facts about vacations. That was me being nice to YouTube. Okay. She said she told the White House officials she would rather not travel and suggest some kind of either public or private live video on social media. The White House was open to doing a live session, she said, but never took a trip to Pennsylvania Avenue off the table. Earlier this week, a White House official suggested the administration offered only a phone call with the rapper to speak with experts about the safety going on vacations. As we have with others, we offered a call with Nikki and one of our doctors to answer questions about the safety and effectiveness of vacations. Then she tweeted about the White House has invited me. I think it's a step in the right direction. Yes, I'm going. I'll be dressed in all pink, like Legally Blonde. Like Legally Blonde. So they know I mean business. I'll ask questions on behalf of the people who have been made fun of for simply being human. And here's her tweet. You see, this says Ballgate. Okay, Ballgate.
I'm sorry, my gut hurts.
She just said Ballgate.
My gut hurts. What the fuck?
Whew.
Oh my God. Oh.
That, well, all them gates we were talking about earlier, this just stopped.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. You guys.
Ballgate.
Oh, I snorted. Oh shit.
Oh
my goodness.
Someone retweeted to Nikki saying the United Nations needs to invite you to speak at the General Assembly immediately.
Oh my goodness, horse nuts. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That was good. That was awesome.
Okay, she said in her Instagram video that the White House called back after she put out the tweet about the invitation and weren't too happy about her talking about it publicly.
Yeah, publicly.
Whew. Like, I ain't laughed that hard in a minute.
I know, right? It's got my gut hurting. That was good. That was good. That was really good.
Whew. Ballgate. So,
well, do we really need to finish it off?
Well, this is what prompted the whole thing. Was this right here? Was Minaj tweeted on Monday that she had skipped the Met Gala, which had a vacation requirement, saying she wanted to do more research before getting it. She cited her new baby as well for not wanting to travel and encourage people to wear masks.
Right.
Okay. And this is the tweet. My cousin in Trinidad won't go on vacation because his friend got it.
Yeah. I'm glad I got mine now. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Oh, man.
Hey, I agree with this. 100%. I agree with that. 100%. How do we do this? How do we do this? How do we get this going? Really, Nikki, how do we get the ball rolling?
Get the ball rolling on the ball gate.
On the ball gate, yes. How do we do it? Because I ain't on Twitter. And if I'm not mistaken, hashtag is all Twitter. Because they're a bunch of twats. Oh, can you?
Yeah.
See, y'all got me on the Facebook shit now. It's all y'all's fault.
Whew.
I can't stand fascist book. They're a bunch of fucking twats.
Ballgate.
What is this? What are you doing? Really? No.
That was funny.
That was funny. That's got my gut hurting.
That actually would have been funny enough for Porch Talk.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Good Lord. We're a bunch of freaking animals. All right. So, Taylor.
Huh?
Was that your last one?
No, I have one
All
more.
right, let's go. The ball gate thing's got me. Yeah, it's got me wanting to go on mine.
On what?
And just do you, sis? Do you?
Okay, so I will say this.
Good God, look at them guns.
Oh, stop it. So
mine are itty bitty compared to hers. Anyway, all right, let's go.
Oh, look what Cyber just said. The ball's in our court. Oh, Cyber said, LMAO, there is a live stream right now with hashtag Ballgate. It has launched.
Who?
I don't know who's doing a live stream with Ballgate, but
the ball's in our court.
I think, okay, so when we start our porch talk, I'm going to hashtag Ballgate. So.
Oh, shit. Okay. I can hang with it.
Okay, so what I was saying was I have extra articles in the description box. And those articles, they're not important, but it's just some stuff in the similar that could be interesting for some of y'all to see. So if y'all have made it to this point and you want to just have something else to look at, there's a couple of articles in the description box that y'all might find beneficial. And this is the last one that I'll play.
Wait a minute. Pay attention to your subscribers.
Excuse me. Thank you, Cheekbuster.
I'm telling you what, the first time that me and Taylor met, and I told her, show those biggins, everybody automatically thought that I was talking about tatas, and I wasn't, because I know she's got some big old guns. But anyway,
biggins. Yeah,
biggins. That's it, biggins. All right, let's go.
This is by Heavy Duty Country. This may hurt your race baiting anti-American feelings, but too bad.
I freaking love him. And if you don't, something's wrong with you. I look like Eddie Munster. Sorry.
Welcome back to
back at it.
Edition of Heavy Duty.
Real quick. Back it all the way up to the beginning and pause it so that everybody can read that. You guys see this? Dedicated to every liberal in the U.S. and every rhino, wake up or get out. And if anybody has a fucking problem with that, well, you know what to do. All right, I'm good.
Have you seen this one?
I have.
Welcome back to another edition of Heavy Duty Country. I'm not going to say my original line that I usually say in the beginning of the videos because the whole damn video is about this. It's about being an American, being proud of being an American, loving this flag. I know, crazy nowadays, right?
Where like if I go somewhere and there's too many American flags around, I'm defensive and now I'm getting scared. Like when the crowd last night, the crowd was chanting.
Wait a minute. If there is the American flag around, I'm defensive. What? Really? Really?
Mm-hmm.
The land of the free. The last land of the free. There is no more. Freedom leaves this country. Everybody in the world is fucked with a big old freaking John Holmes freaking, yeah, that kind of fucked. Yes, that kind of fucked. So people get off your fucking high horse wanting everybody else to pay for it. Get off of it, dudes and chicks and heifers and whatever the fuck else. All right, go ahead.
USA. Now I'm starting to panic. And it's like.
But it seems like in America today, there is a lot of time spent on talking about race.
This proposition that we are a systemically racist country. Your reaction?
Well, it's a bunch of horse manure. I mean, give me a break.
So what I'd like to do is I'd like to...
Right there?
Yep.
Are a systemically racist country. Your reaction?
Well, it's a bunch of horse manure. I mean, give me a break.
So
I am a white guy. You want to call me racist? Fine. Call me racist. But here's the problem in your freaking what do you call it?
Ideology.
Ideology. Here's the problem with it. I hate all you guys. I don't like people, period. Does that make me racist? Am I racist to whites? Am I racist to blacks? And because I don't like none of yous? None of yous. I hate people. I don't like being around people. I would rather be by myself. Does that make me racist? Am I racist? If you think so, yeah, fuck off. All right.
You good?
Yep.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to settle this once and for all. Because America is done with it. It's all over the news still. Racism is alive. All of this stuff. No one cares. But it seems like a lot of people do care about that. Because maybe they're just not doing anything with their life. Fine. That's on you. But the rest of us are done with it. Let me start with this. If you live in America, if you are a U.S. citizen, your race is American. I don't care what color you are. I don't care if you're as purple as Barney. You're an American. Being an American is also a belief set or being principled with how you are as a person, right? So we got 50 million different strings that we can pull off of that.
Okay, Betty here. I just came to leave my house and I backed up. And my neighbor who I cannot stand, Blue Lives Matter flag in his yard, and it infuriates me. So I just backed my car up, and we're gonna warm it up with the exhaust in his face for a few minutes.
Oh,
once again, what?
Back it up.
That's nothing to do.
Oh, did she say a Blue Lives Matter flag infuriates her to the point where she wants to? Oh, please play that again.
I just came to leave my house and I backed up. And my neighbor who I cannot stand, Blue Lives Matter flag in his yard, and it infuriates me. So I just backed my car up and we're going to warm it up with the exhaust in his face for a few minutes.
But once again, what? Has nothing to do with being an American.
I got a rant. Really? You freaking cone-nosed bitch. These are the people that protect you from these freaking rapists and these freaking, oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Where are they getting their information? What the fuck is wrong with their minds? What is wrong with America? I'm sorry.
You're good. Lunatics.
Where does it come from? How do we stop it? Hard questions, right?
Comes from here.
The
generation before the cell phones didn't act like this. I was 17 when I got my first cell phone, and let me tell you that was like one of them cinder blocks, them Nokia that you had to, it was 10 cents per text message, free phone calls after 9 p.m. and it had Snake was the only game it had, and obviously there was no internet.
Wait a minute. Let's go back. How old were you?
17.
I was 29, and I'm 10 years older than you. I was 29 before I had my first cell phone. And I'm 10 years older than you. I agree with what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
I know a ton of white people who hate America. Look at Antifa.
I have like on the border between just a regular rifle and an assault weapon and a sawed-off style shotgun.
And support tactics, and I don't think they'll know any of them because they're not prepared for what we're planning.
Mike, my son, Rafael, he's in trouble, and I got to get him out of Mexico.
Touch me and look at all the people in Black Lives Matter that are white. What? How does that make any sense? Oh, you're the Black Lives Matter allies?
This one actually is not for my Black Lives Matter people. Love you, but this one's for the racists, okay?
Wait a
shouldn't
minute.
be scared right now.
Stop. I already heard some of it. Go ahead and play it through.
The Black Lives Matter movement. You should be scared of their white allies.
Back it up to the beginning. Yep. There you go.
Is not for my Black Lives Matter people. Love you, but this one's for the racists, okay? You shouldn't be scared right now of the Black Lives Matter movement. You should be scared of their white allies.
Stop.
Because we look like
You should not be scared of the Black Lives Matter movement. You should be scared
of the white allies because we look like you.
What? First off,
I can tell the difference. I can look in a crowd and see the type of person that would be a Black Lives Matter ally and one that wouldn't. So I'm not scared of them.
And that's only because me and you are penoid. And I use that term well, first off, you guys got to understand mine and Taylor's talking. when we say penoid, it don't mean paranoid. It means we're already there on that level and we're looking. But first off, let's go back to this. I've got to be nice. We've got this heifer who is white and claiming that everybody that is white is racist. And that we should be afraid of them. First off, how do you put it? I hate to think that damn 556 is afraid of a goddamn thing that you're going to bring to me. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. You come on my property, you're going to get blowed the fuck up. So I ain't afraid of nothing. And nobody else should be either. You should be confident in your home defense. Doesn't matter if they're white, black, pink, purple, whatever. Everybody should be confident in their home defense. I am. I'm pretty sure Taylor is. Just saying. That might have been that I might have taken it a little far. Don't you look at me that way. All right, let's go.
Like you, so you don't know any better. And we're coming to fuck your shit up.
What do you handle their business for them in the bathroom too? Hand them a nice wipe when they're on the toilet.
Back it up again. See, she triggered me again. She triggered me again.
So you don't know any better. And we're coming to fuck your shit up.
What do you handle their business for them in the bathroom too? Hand them a nice.
Come fuck my shit up, because I'll be guaranteeing that the first hole will be through your head.
That could be a trigger. That
It's already said now. I can't take it back. So I'm going to shut up now because I've done fucked up. And we're going to move and see that is not triggered. If I get a SWAT freaking, yeah, whatever.
Nice wipe when they're on the toilet. That's what you do, whatever. And if you're on the far end of this, the very far end of white, right? So a Nazi, you are ignorant. America defeated the Nazis. Pick one.
My name is Lieutenant Aldo Rain, and I'm putting together a special team.
Shit.
We're going to be dropped into France dressed as civilians. Once we're in enemy territory, we're going to be doing one thing and one thing only. Killing Nazis. Sound good?
Yes, sir! You're either an American or you're a Nazi. You're not both. Pretty simple. And if that hurts your feelings, move to Russia. Move to Germany. We don't need you. Secondly, if you want to make America all about how black people were treated unfairly and how you need reparations for it and how you're still being treated unfairly and all this stuff, let me throw some logic at you. If you think you are being treated unfairly in a place, right? Why would you stay there, right? Like you go into a restaurant and the waiter is terrible and he spills a whole bunch of spaghetti sauce all over your wife's blouse and then gives you the bird after. Are you staying there? Are you having a protest in the middle of the restaurant? Or do you just say, you know what? That guy's an idiot. We're going to go. Americans, we don't care about what your skin color is? Are you an American? Do you have the principles of an American? Which I'll go over next. We can do this with every single race who thinks that there is something wrong being done to them. But here's how we simplify all of it. Work for what you get. Meaning, if you think that you deserve stuff, if you think that you should be given stuff, if you think that somebody owes...
Pause. Not a lot of you know that I've been going through a really hard time the past week or so. There ain't a fucking thing owed to me. Not a fucking thing. I just got to deal with it. And if you think that it's owed to you, then you need to wake the fuck up. You didn't have a boot in your ass enough. Life ain't easy. And people need to wake the fuck up. You need to wake the fuck up. Life ain't easy. You work through it. You work through it. You deal with it the best you know how. Do I deal with it the best way every time? No, I don't. Taylor can tell you. I freak out. But you deal with it the best that you know how. God never told us that life would be easy. But God told us that He would never put more than we can handle on our shoulders. And why does He tell us that? He tells us that so that we would rely on God to carry the burden. So that He could carry the burden. And I know that I'm probably mystifying a lot of you. Just keep going.
Tells you something. You're not an American.
How would you like to know the intelligence operative and Navy SEAL secret for defending yourself against young?
Wow.
You do better off in North Korea because guess what? They are given everything. It's not much, but they're given everything. The government controls everything there. So if you're an American and you really want to be an American, work for what you get. Don't rely on anybody to give you squat. Love this country, even when it's not going good. When 9/11 happened, everybody was an American. Everybody was together. There was no BS about race. It was just, how do we get those guys back? Now a similar situation happened in Afghanistan, just at a very smaller scale, and the reaction was totally different. People are still worried about what pronouns they're going to be called.
So I work in customer service, and all day long I hear, "Excuse me,
Pause
ma'am.
it.
Excuse me, miss. Excuse me, ma'am. I am not a
Pause
ma'am.
it. Pause it. Pause it.
I am
pause
not
it.
a sir."
And you're doing this with a boring in your nose. And I know that Taylor knows where I'm going with this. You Southern folks, if you know what a boring is, you understand what it represents. Okay? A boring represents submission. The freaking farmer grabs a hold of that boring and he yanks your fucking ass wherever the hell he wants you to go. All right. Let's not mention the fact that she's got 45 caliber holes in her ears, which honestly, I really don't give two shits about. What you do with your body, that's your problem. You got to live with it. I don't. My problem is you're trying to push your shit on me. You're trying to push your shit on my family and say it's okay. I can dictate what I feel, but you can't dictate back. I don't know if any of that made sense, but anyway, let's go.
So I don't want to hear Miss ever again.
If you're an American, you love this country. Period. You don't talk crap about it. You don't try to destroy it every other day like Antifa. Simple stuff. I can go on all day with this stuff. The point I'm trying to make is if you're trying to make America about race, that's why we don't like you. And it has nothing to do with the color of your skin. We don't like people who are anti-American. I don't care if you're a turtle. If you're anti-American, I don't like you. I don't think you belong here. Let's bring America back. Let's bring America back like it was on 9/11, where none of these BS issues mattered. And there's nothing else to it. And if you feel like you need to complicate it more than that, you have no right to stay here. Because believe it or not, America is a privilege. We are all privileged by being Americans. Look at Australia right now.
We're going to move to a situation where, to protect the health system, we're going to lock out people who are not vaccinated and can be.
Military personnel have been tasked with going door to door, checking that people who have tested positive are isolating at home.
How would you like to live in Australia? Understand what you have and don't make an issue out of nothing.
Have any of you guys been paying attention to what's going on in Australia right now? Children being maced, all because they went into the store and did not have a mask on. Or for that matter, the thing camps. That's the only way I know how to put it. Taylor, I don't know how to put it.
Quarantine
camps. FEMA. There you go. FEMA. 95% of the population in the United States will end up in a FEMA camp.
I got something that just
You're good.
I wasn't planning on playing, or it's an article.
Go for it. We'll take turns if you want to.
this is going to piss some people off, and we got information like a week ago about it, but now it's been confirmed, and this is from CNN. So,
oh shit, the Chinese news network. Go figure that one out.
I wasn't planning on doing
this. I'm going to get drunk.
Well, it's an article, so I'm not really playing anything. But
no, okay.
This is U.S. military admits it killed 10 civilians and targeted wrong vehicle in Kabul airstrike.
Here we go. Yep.
A United States military investigation into deadly Kabul drone strike, which I knew when they said airstrike, it was a way to appease the masses, not that they actually had intentions or coerced, planned.
They just shot a freaking.
They just basically made a drone and said, "We got them." But
yep.
A United States military investigation into deadly Kabul drone strike on vehicle in August has found it killed 10 civilians and the driver, and that vehicles targeted was likely not a threat associated with ISIS-K, announced General Frank McKenzie, the top general of the U.S. Central Command at the Pentagon on Friday. McKenzie
Actually, and now you're reading from CNN, but actually, the person that they killed was a humanitarian worker.
And an American aid.
Yep. Welcome to Biden's world. All right. Go ahead. Let me know when you want me to take over.
McKenzie told reporters that the strike, which he said killed 7 children, was a mistake and offered an apology. Offered an apology? How do you apologize for killing 10 people?
No. 10 children. Read that again. Read it again. Oh, no, sorry.
7 children. 10 people, 7 children.
How do you apologize for killing 7 children? Children. In an attack that our military knows better of. They are well trained. They know who is and who is not the target. I don't give 2 shits who you are. No, I'm not military, but by God, I know for a fucking fact that our military knows their shit. This pussy ass, hair sniffing, pedophile, fucking administration. It's all of them. Every one of them did this and knew they were doing this. They had no intentions of getting somebody. They were trying to pacify the masses. Think about that for a minute. They were trying to pacify you and me. Are you pacified? Are you okay with what happened? Are you not looking into it or just taking it for whatever the mainstream media, whatever news channel you're listening to and accepting it? Or are you freaking deep delving and trying to figure out what the fuck? Because in all honesty, either way you go, you're fucked. We're fucked. We have issues. We have issues. And our biggest issue is there is nobody coming to our rescue on a white horse. So people need to figure it out. What does that mean? What does all that mean? All right. That's a rant. I'm sorry.
The strike was taken in the earnest belief that it would prevent an imminent threat to our forces and the evacuees at the airport, but it was a mistake, and I offer my sincere apology. McKenzie said that he is fully responsible for this airstrike and this tragic outcome. The Pentagon's announcement will likely fuel more criticism of the Biden administration's chaotic evacuation of Kabul and handling of the withdrawal from Afghanistan more broadly. While McKenzie stressed Friday that future strikes will likely be held to a higher standard, confirmation of the civilian death tolls also provide insight into the obstacles ahead for the military and intelligence officials tasked with fulfilling President Joe Biden's promise to make the terror group pay for its deadly suicide attack in Kabul. In the lead up to the strike, drone operators surveyed.
Surveillance.
Yeah. The courtyard for up to 4 to 5 minutes. In that time, a male driver left the vehicle. One child was parking the vehicle, and the other children were present in the car in the courtyard. As CNN has been told by Ahmadi family.
Whose fault's that? It's Trump's, right? Trump's the reason for this shit. Oh, fuck these.
All right. Let's go ahead and end this one, and then we're going to start. I already got a porch talk.
All right, let's drop the link. You already got the link?
Well, I already got the porch talk set up, so all we got to do is go start the broadcast.
Yeah, but they still got to be able to join it.
What do you mean?
They need a link.
A link?
A link, yeah. Where's the link? Give me. Don't you scratch your head at me.
How do you have a link when we're already, we haven't started it yet?
I'll show you. Oh, wait a minute. Is that it? Hangout?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a second. Oh, shit. Oh, that ain't gonna work. There we go. All right, give me a second. Oh, shit. Why is it not giving it to me? Here, I want to do it this way. Guys, we're gonna close this stream down, and for any of you guys that know us, we do a porch talk, and pretty much in porch talk, anything goes. So come join us. There's the link right there. and blame it on Hillbilly. I got a little outrageous. So, with that being said, love you guys, and sacrifice. Nothing easy. Nothing beneficial. Nothing beneficial comes without sacrifice. And it's what the fuck was that?
I crushed a water bottle.
I snorted. Nothing beneficial comes without sacrifice. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys over in the Porch Talk, where I can really let loose.
Oh, and we do have something set up for tomorrow. So if y'all have nothing to do, stop by.
Absolutely. And it corresponds with what we're talking about tonight. And yeah.
All right. So I'll see y'all over in Porch Talk.
Love y'all.